Hello Visioneers, and welcome to Small Business Celebration. And we're continuing our series on small business owners who not only survived the last recession but thrived from it. And this week's guests, well, they are a waterfall of information. This is Small Business Celebration. Join us as we learn from successful business owners and successful business leaders about who they are, from where their business has grown, what they have learned, and where their successful business is going. I am your host, Michael I. Roberts, and we're going to learn something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business. Hello Visioneers, and welcome to Small Business Celebration. And our guests this week are George Masud and George Masud of Waterfall Cleaners. Welcome to Small Business Celebration.
Hello.
Thank you.
And for Visioneers who don't know, tell us a little bit about Waterfall Cleaners and what is it that you guys do?
Waterfall Cleaners, obviously built by George and myself, George. We started this back in 2002. We're a dry cleaning and laundry service, and we're one of the few dry cleaners that do delivery service here in Bakersfield.
For Visioneers who've never used a delivery service for their laundry needs, give us an overview of how that works.
Well, basically what we do is we give every one of our clients, our customers, a bag. It's an express bag that we hand out. It's a personalized bag, and what we do is we go business to business or home to home. There's set days, and it's within a time period, but what we do is it's a free delivery service. We go pick up and deliver. You pay over-the-counter pricing.
This is very important, especially during this age of COVID, because people don't want to get out as much or they don't want to interact with the public as much. And so this service that you have sets you apart from a lot of your competition, does it not?
Yes, it does. I mean, we try to provide a great service where we go in and pick it up and we bring it back within a couple days usually, so a lot of customers are happy with that.
One of the things that you guys are doing during this COVID situation, I think is very clever and a lot of fun. And in fact, you have a couple of masks that you guys have right behind you. Show Visioneer Nation, first of all, what both your mask and what you're doing.
Well, this is an interesting story here. So, yes, we do print masks. We did, we became a distributor of this mask called One Mask.
Uh-huh.
And when him and I got into it, it was just one of those things where in the very beginning, it was really, really tough because gloves was a big must in the thing. And guess what? You could never find gloves.
Right.
They were running out. Everywhere we went, it ran out. Masks, disposable masks, we could never, ever, ever get disposable masks in for it. So when we saw this come up, we felt it. The material, the comfort was excellent. So when him and I said it, we were like, hey, you know what? Let's become a distributor of it and start getting them into stores and try to help out. Because in masks, you can't price gouge, any sanitizing stuff like that, you can't price gouge. So there's a very, very slim profit into this. But then what him and I decided to do was we were sitting down one day and we said, hey, this seems like it's going to become a uniform with the way the world is going. It's going to become a uniform.
Right.
So I said, why don't we just take these masks and start putting logos on them, so that way now when we're wearing masks, employee wear masks, it matches the logo, of your uniform.
Nice.
So, and it's actually worked. Like we got law offices now calling us that want to get these done. Car dealerships here in town, because that was one of my things in the beginning was him and I were like, hey, we go to certain places where there's hundreds of employees, but you don't know if they are or not because they're wearing disposable masks, different colored masks. So he came up with this idea of, hey, let's put on these logos and then let everybody look uniformed, and boom, it just started from there. So that's what we do. And then we have certain days now that when I'm working with the staff. So Waterfall Cleaners now, once we get our next shipment in, is when somebody drops off their dry cleaning order, when they come to pick it up, we're going to give them a free mask.
Now that is clever.
Yeah.
That is very, very clever. And one of the other things too is that with these masks, and you mentioned it that you've got law firms and other businesses as well, you can actually order these masks with those businesses' logos on them, correct?
Correct.
And what is the minimum order for something like that?
What we're trying to do right now is at least 50 pieces. So if you buy 50 pieces, they come in white or black.
Okay.
And then what we do is you just send us your logo,
Right.
Email me the logo. and we sent it over to the gal here in town, which has also helped her out too to keep going too, because she took a setback with this whole COVID as well.
Wow.
So this actually kept her going, you
Good.
know. So we like to say about 50. You know, we're not gonna, you know, get rid of. If somebody really needs them, we'll try to do our best doing it. It's just that right now you're getting orders of hundreds and hundreds coming in.
Right.
So, you know, we just try to prioritize, because once there's a setup on the machine,
Right.
it's kind of hard to slide something in for 10, 15 pieces. So we try to make it worth its while.
And show us very quickly what the black one looks like.
The plain one, or you want the?
Well, that's the thing that's fun and that I wanted
I'll
to show
you both of them actually.
Okay, great.
So we do have a black mask here, which we'll take out and use for myself. So we do have a black mask, a solid black mask here, which is, you know, which is what we're making now for Waterfall Cleaners. So our first run was our white ones with the blue logo. So on the black ones, you can't run color on black. So what we're doing is it turns out it's like a white. You just put like a white lettering on it. And obviously we did get creative with it. We had we had some certain people that asked, yeah, we do have, you know, some that we made for the poker people that like to play poker. So we had some that say 3-card poker. We had some that said all in. So I've had a lot of my poker buddies that have actually asked me for a lot of these style ones. And then you're getting, you know, people that are just customizing their own. They're putting their names on it, just getting creative with it. So whatever you want, we can do as far as printing on it. And
if Visioneer Nation wanted to find out more about Waterfall Cleaners and about these masks, how do they do that?
This location here in Grand Islands is 11420 Ming Avenue, Suite 550, 93311. The address at the Wilson store is 3031 Wilson Road, 93304.
Perfect. And what is your website if people wanted to go take a look?
Our website's waterfallcleaners.com. You can also contact us on Instagram. So you go to Waterfall Cleaners on Instagram and we'll pop up there too.
And finally, what is your phone number?
This location here is 661-885-7300. The Wilson location is 661-836-3399.
Well, this business wasn't built in a vacuum. And I'm looking forward to learning about how two cousins came together to form this business when we come right back. Are you getting the blue screen of death? Or worse, are you getting a black screen with white gibberish on it? Something that looks like it should be translated by an ancient Egyptian paleontologist? Have no fear. The highly trained staff at Bakersfield Bytes is here to serve you. As Kern County's #1 rated computer repair store, your business's computers are in good hands. Need to upgrade your computer? No problem. Need a stronger network? No problem. Call Bakersfield Bytes at 661-496-5900 and keep the backbone of your business in tip-top shape. Call Bakersfield Bytes at 661-496-5900 or at bakersfieldbytes.com. That's Bakersfield, BYTES.com. We're back with George Masud and George Masud of Waterfall Cleaners, and there's a great quote on This Is George's Facebook page which reads, "Cousins are usually the first friends we have as children. No one will ever understand how crazy your family is like your cousins do." And for Visioneers, why is this quote so paramount to you guys' relationship?
Well, one, we grew up as a very tight family. Not just him and I. I mean, him and I, we have another, you know, growing up in LA and him being in Thousand Oaks, all of us cousins actually got together every weekend.
Nice.
And not just cousins, I'm talking about the parents as well.
So it's all the extended family.
Yeah, when we growing up, we were actually every weekend, I'm not telling you, I mean every weekend we would get together, the whole family, at one particular person's house, and we all got together and we grew up with each other, you know, really, really close and tight, you know. And, you know, just over time, you know, even till today, it's the same group of us, you know, we still keep in contact. We get together once a year now because we've all grown apart, got married, had kids.
Sure.
So now what we've started too is now, as we get older, is now once a year. Well, there's other occasions also, but now I host once a year for all those cousins to get together and bring their kids up to try to keep our kids as close as possible as well, you know.
Why did you both come to Bakersfield?
Well, I blame it on him. I blame it on him. I was actually in LA. He was out here.
I came out here with my dad. We opened up a liquor store downtown.
Okay.
And then I was in the liquor store business with my dad. And then I seen how much the dry cleaning cost and everything. And I contacted him and I said, you need to come out here. We need to open up a store. And that's pretty much where it went. And then it was one day.
One day I was actually sitting in my apartment in LA and he kept on talking about it. He's like, hey, I'm telling you, you got to come out here. Because we had family down south in the business.
Right.
So I kind of
in the dry
cleaning business.
Okay.
So me being around the dry cleaning business for those years,
right.
I didn't know the business, but I kind of got the concept of it. But him and I kept talking about it. And then one day he put me to the test. He's like, you know what? He goes, if I come down and pick you up, he goes, I'll come down with the trailer and pack you up. And he goes, would you move out to Bakersfield? And I was in the aviation business at the time. So I was working in Van Nuys.
Sure.
And I'm not kidding you. He literally came down the next morning. This was a Friday conversation, Saturday morning. He literally got in his truck, hooked up his trailer, came all the way down, and I had to pack, because it was a bet that we made that if he did come down in the trailer, I would pack up and leave. So yes, I did pack up and I did leave. I packed up and left and we came to Bakersfield. But I did commute from Bakersfield to Van Nuys for work while he still had the liquor store before we started our venture into the dry cleaning business, because we had to drive around and look for a location.
So you called his bluff.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, so.
After you called his bluff, then you raised him a fair amount.
No,
because
actually, I take that back. I re-raised them.
Well, is because you did re-raise him, and you are not in the liquor business. You're in the dry cleaning business.
Yeah.
So he brought you to Bakersfield, but you brought him into the dry cleaning business.
No, we came in it together. I mean, it was his idea of getting into the business.
Right.
We have a cousin that was in it, and my best friend was in the business.
Nice.
So just kind of knowing it, it was just really, I'll be honest with you, in the very beginning stages, like we had no clue what we were doing.
Really?
No clue.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that stood out to you?
Well, one of the things is him and I would drive around and look for a location. So back in 2002, it was actually 2001 at the time, we actually were driving around and he found a spot, which was the old Mama Tosca's on Ming and Ash. Mm-hmm. And it was empty. And it was still a kitchen, actually. And then what we had done, we kind of liked the location, but back in 2002, that area was excellent location for our dry cleaners. And when we found the location, we were like, okay, you know what, this is going to be it. So we negotiated a lease on that spot. But guess what happened? We got the location, we opened it up as an agency, which is just a pickup and drop off area. We had no machinery to clean.
Okay.
So we figured once we can kind of dial in an area where, in that area, to do an agency, we'll find the dry cleaners here locally that would do our cleaning for us. Zero.
Wow.
Nobody would do it for us.
Wow.
So then he decided to say, you know what? I'll tell you what we're going to do. I was like, what do you want to do? So we went and leased a van from Three-Way Chevy, put poles in the van, and we literally drove it for the first 6 to 7 months. We literally drove it down to LA to our cousin's cleaners, cleaned it, and brought it back up every day.
It sounds like that when you guys first started your business, it was better to be a risk taker than not, correct?
Yeah, it was a big risk.
And first of all, what were a couple of the risks that you took, and what did you learn from them?
Well, first risk is jumping into a business not knowing it. We learned it. We had somebody teach us down south. It's kind of how we learned it. Pretty much how we learned it. That's who we were taking our clothes to at the beginning, and he taught us the business. And the risk is either you succeed or the risk is you're either going to fail or you're going to succeed. It's, you got to have that drive and that hunger to succeed, and that's what we have. We have that work ethic we're going to push and push. If we got to do the physical labor, we're going to do the physical labor. If we got to do the mathematical smartness up in your head and figure out everything, that's not making sense.
No, it made perfect sense. It made perfect sense.
Shit, man.
It actually makes perfect sense. And it's all good. When we come back, we're going to talk about one of the projects that you guys have in the plans, in the works, for when we come out of this recession, out of this COVID situation, when we come right back.
Hi everyone, I am Ann Hauser, Marketing Director for the Palms at San Lorenzo Senior Living.
Hi everyone, it's Jennifer Pitcher, local public and government affairs consultant.
This is David Collins with Commercial Trade.
Hello, my name is Chad Tonko, founder and CEO of Primaris Market Development.
What do these Visioneers all have in common? They send us a quick 30-second video with their name, the business with whom they're associated, why they subscribe to the Small Business Celebration program, and they emailed it to us at sbc@smallbusinesscelebration.com. Their videos all appeared on the Small Business Celebration program, and yours can too. Simply shoot a quick 30-second video with your name, the business with whom you're associated, why you subscribe to the Small Business Celebration program, and email it to us at sbc@smallbusinesscelebration.com. Your video could appear on the next Small Business Celebration program, and we look forward to seeing your video today. We're back with George Masud and George Masud of Waterfall Cleaners, and you may have seen in the previous segment that George went through and fumbled his ideas. And this comes down to a very important point, which is authenticity, being genuine. And George, why is being genuine or not coming across as fake so important?
I just always just look at it this way. It's like, being honest. If you make a mistake, we're human. We're going to make a mistake, you're going to make a mistake. One thing you don't want to do is make that mistake and try to cover it up or lie about it.
Right.
George and I have been in this business for 20 years now, 18 years. I think we've completed 18 years of this business.
Right.
And listen, him and I both know we're not perfect. We've damaged clothing. We've made mistakes, but you just have to take care of it, because one of the things that we hear are that people, our competitors sometimes maybe don't want to take care of certain things that they do. They get mad. We hear a lot of stuff from our customers. So the most important part that him and I have done is that, listen, we make a mistake, we rip a garment, we lose a garment, whatever the occasion is. If we know we did it, fix it. If it costs us money, hey, it was our mistake. You got to pay for what you lost, or fix. A lot of our customers completely understand. I mean, maybe one in God knows how many, maybe went kind of a wrong way, but at the end of the day, honesty is the best. Sharing love is the best, and that's what we need right now in this world right now. And that's it. Just man up to your mistake if you make a mistake, and just always be genuine about it.
What is a project or a business that you guys are looking forward to starting once we come out of this COVID-19 situation?
Well, one, our main thing is obviously we got to maintain Waterfall Cleaners, which, thanks to our employees, our staff, I mean, they really get to a point to where we can not have to worry about it. I mean, they're that good to where him and I can take time away from work and to come back, and the business is still going forward. They trust us, we trust them. George and I are starting a new project. The project that we're starting is we're actually going to be opening up an Irish pub here in Bakersfield.
Really?
Him and I have always wanted to do a sports bar, because him and I love playing fantasy football. We're into that, fantasy football.
And I dare to ask, what NFL teams do you root for?
Now it's more your fantasy players.
It
so
is.
We love football, so I mean,
it really does get to that point.
You go and watch the games and stuff, but it's just watching football is great.
So you're interested in the people in the game, not necessarily the team in the game.
That's correct. That's what fantasy football has turned into now. So a lot of people, I mean, everybody has their favorite teams, but most importantly, you're going to watch all of it, because whoever your fantasy football players play on those teams, you're going to root for those players.
Why an Irish pub?
Well, back in September, it was about a week after my best friend's birthday. He was Irish, and he passed away from cancer. So we kind of shifted it over one day, and him and I were having a talk, and I said, hey, instead of us, because I had the prior business that was there at the location on Brimhall and Callaway, we have a nice patio on the side. We have a front patio. It's a perfect size for a bar.
Right.
So we love the location of what I had. It was a hookah lounge at the time, but we've shut that down and got rid of it.
Right.
So when him and I were talking about it, we decided to shift our attention over. Instead of opening up a sports lounge, we wanted to shift it over to more of a higher quality Irish lounge.
Nice.
live entertainment, do live music. It is beer. It's liquor only, no food.
Okay.
So we wanted to bring in the higher end alcohols and stuff like that, make it more of a loungy, cozy feel with the live entertainment instead of an iTunes box and stuff like that. So we're trying to shift our attention to more controlled music because we do have neighbors behind us, so we have to keep the tone down.
Right.
But yes, so the Irish pub theme came from my best friend of his past. His name was James McGarry, and the pub is called McGarry's Irish Pub. Correct.
What are some of the things that you're doing also for Waterfall Cleaners going forward in the future?
We try to really focus on keeping track of the pricing, to where we're affordable, especially going through hard times. So
Sure.
people that can't afford, an abundance amount of dry cleaning, hopefully we give them something different than what no other dry cleaners offers, which is we do happy hour dry cleaning. At this location here, we offer it from 7 to 9 a.m. And from 4 to 6 p.m. And at our
Nice.
Wilson store, it's from 12 to 3. And what we do, it saves our customers a significant amount of money.
Nice.
I mean, I'm talking about a pair of pants, regular price is $6.99, which is still cheaper than our competitors, but our happy hour drops it down to $4.89.
Wow.
You don't need no coupons. All you have to do is be here at that time.
Nice.
We try to simplify the business, especially for our customers. We don't want people to sit there and clip coupons. We don't want people to sit there and have to go on their phone and have to show us certain things. I mean, we want to give George and I give back a lot to the community as much as we can.
And we also want to expand our delivery route because people aren't wanting to go out of their house as much right now. So it's a lot more convenient for them to offer the pickup and delivery service. So.
And if Visioneer Nation want to learn more about Waterfall and Waterfall Cleaners and all of your great masks, and as well as all of your pickup and delivery services, how do they do that?
Contact either one of the stores, preferably going to waterfallcleaners.com. We do have coupons online for the people that can't make it in at the happy hour and stuff. So waterfallcleaners.com is obviously the key part. Call each store, or go under Instagram. We have our Instagram, which is Waterfall Cleaners, and it'll give you all of our information about it. Or you can contact us. You can actually contact me personally. Waterfall Cleaners, I have my cell phone is set up. One of my cell phones is set up for the delivery route, so they can contact that number, which is 661-343-3385, and they can just text it, and then depending on the zoning of where you're at, it'll send us a message to where we can figure out what route it's for, but I'll contact you back and stuff. Give you more details.
George, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much for being on Small Business Celebration. It's been truly a delight. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Are you getting the blue screen of death? Or worse, are you getting a black screen with white gibberish on it? Something that looks like it should be translated by an ancient Egyptian paleontologist? Have no fear. The highly trained staff at Bakersfield Bytes is here to serve you. As Kern County's #1 rated computer repair store, your business's computers are in good hands. Need to upgrade your computer? No problem. Need a stronger network? No problem. Call Bakersfield Bytes at 661-496-5900 and keep the backbone of your business in tip-top shape. Call Bakersfield Bytes at 661-496-5900 or at bakersfieldbytes.com. That's Bakersfield, BYTES.com. Who is a Visioneer? A Visioneer is a business leader who is a pioneer that has vision. A Visioneer is someone willing to see the world not as it is, but as it could be, and is willing to do something about it. A Visioneer is ethical, smarter, faster, and leaner than the mainstream competition. A Visioneer gives value first because Visioneers are in the business for the long haul. Visioneers understand the difference between saving money and earning a profit. Visioneers define their destiny. Visioneers create their own luck. Visioneers surround themselves with successful, like-minded people. Visioneers are renegades who defy the mainstream competition and are ready to change the world. Are you a Visioneer? Join the Visioneer tribe with Small Business Celebration on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram today.